See those orange and red colors there? That rain is very heavy rainfall, could even contain some small hail in there and some gusty winds, and that is certainly something that could cause some slowdowns on roads, even if you're a good driver. So as we go into this afternoon, just make sure you are weather aware. Look at the difference. The West Coast, us here in Fresno, we're sitting nice and comfortable in the 60s. Meanwhile, you have places like out in Buffalo this morning, almost 80 degrees. That's very unusual, even at 9 o'clock this morning for them. You have all of those 70s and 80s that will eventually turn into those 90s and feeling like triple digits for them later today. This is what helped me get to work this morning. Use your GPS to find those exits and roadways. Stay in your lane. Use your turn signals, especially notifying other drivers that you are there and you are going slower. The reason why this rain is a little different than just your average cold front pushing through is because it is coming from an atmospheric river, a very steady stream of moisture that is very much apparent here, moving right over our heads. If you were paying close attention to social media yesterday, you may have seen there was a chance that we could see the northern lights all the way down here in central California. And yesterday evening around 11 p.m. we had a viewer, Monica here in Madera, that was able to capture them in her camera. Our solar storm that happened late last night was strong enough, and of course you can't see it with the naked eye, but if you were able to take a picture with your phone of the sky, you were able to see those faint colors, the purple and the green of the northern lights. How cool is that? A heavy downpour just about to move over the 41 over North Fresno, so heads up there. There could be some problem areas in any of these downpours we see.
That are triggering another AccuWeather alert. We're making light of it, but it is very cold out there.
Yeah, Jason, I think we call that the penguin walk. How you
there you go, the waddle, yeah.
Yes, little.
I saved that for my touchdown celebration.
Oh, okay, sure. Well, we're going to be waddling kind of like penguins, I guess, this morning as you have your layers ready to go. Hopefully you do, because it is just that chilly out there. Freeze warnings are continuing through 9 a.m. All of that blue color that you see across the valley floor means that we're all still fair game for these 30s. Now see this giant red circle, that is the preliminary earthquake that just occurred. Technically it is a major earthquake. It does say 6.6, but we have reports saying that it is up to a 7.0, so major earthquake. We have multiple people in that area reporting that they have indeed felt it. There is likely some aftershocks even happening with this. The fog is very, very dense, and it's going to be a very, very slow go of things. I know we talked about fog yesterday too, but it is worse here in the Fresno area, so I want you to take my word for that. Fresno right now, visibility is now just about 300 to 400 feet. That is measuring in miles. Winter is saying, hey, we're not quite done yet, and we've been seeing that all day yesterday. We had about half of an inch of rain on average across the valley. We have half of a foot at least up into parts of our mountains, but we're not done with this storm system. As the cold air continues to pour in, additional even heavy downpours are going to be possible, and that is what we're even seeing across a lot of the valley floor this morning. Called a particularly dangerous situation. This is not wording that they use lightly in severe weather, with again those very extreme fire weather conditions in the areas highlighted in this white line that you see. So it's already made its way through the state of Florida through the overnight hours, still maintaining its Category 1 hurricane status. Very impressive there, and still has winds right now at about 85 miles per hour. So at the moment, you can see the tail end of this moisture starting to move off the east coast of Florida. Just some rain showers left behind, even some tropical storm-forced winds again on the east side. But it's the west side that felt the effects first. We're talking storm surge, flooding reports. Those are all of the reports that you see here. At the moment, you have this area of low pressure that is slowly moving a bit more southward. What it's doing is shifting the winds a bit more out of the southeast. We call this onshore flow. So what it's doing is it's bringing the winds from the ocean to land, and so naturally it's not only a cooler wind, but it's also a wind that has a lot more moisture. We have rain showers falling, and it's been pretty steady through the morning, so make sure you are taking it slow on the roads. We've been saying that all morning long as you go up toward the higher elevations at 6,000 feet. Huntington Lake, rain mixing in with some snow showers. So it's one thing that we have multiple fires burning right now in a lot of the Los Angeles area, also in Pasadena, but we do have air quality concerns with the huge plumes of smokes that have overtaken the area. You can see here with all of those fires burning, a lot of that smoke smoke has been pushing to the coastal areas. Plus, impressively enough, even before the storm made landfall, we had quite the tornado outbreak across the state. This is typically something you see somewhere in Oklahoma. So very impressive stuff there. It is definitely going to have left quite a bit of damage as it continues to make its way off the coast, though. It is weakening, expected to become a tropical storm by later tonight. We haven't, and I'm keeping track. Kevin and I are keeping track in the Weather Center. I've got the tally up. The month of June this year, we've only had 2 days of triple digits. It kind of seems like not a lot, especially when you compare it to last year. That is about 11 times we were in the triple digits, all before we got to July. Also, remember last year in the month of July was when we almost broke the all-time record high. We got to 114 on July 7th, and that was one of the tallies here. Well, as we track our storm, it is looking a bit more gloomy up across the higher elevations. We have rain mixing in with even some light snowflakes right now across parts of Yosemite National Park. This view is courtesy of our Yosemite Conservancy cameras. You can see all the clouds forming there, and the wet weather is definitely pushing in. We have a widespread rain over the valley floor, pockets of heavier rain at times. And just to zoom in a little bit on where that rain is turning into snow, you have the line just sitting to the north of the Sugar Pine area, even into Central Camp. I would bet that there are some snowflakes trying to mix in. The line is very thin there, and then as soon as you go into Auberry and Oakhurst, it turns into a heavier rain. So very active weather we're tracking right now, and some steady rain showers even pushing through parts of the Fresno area. So there's going to be wet roads pretty much from now all the way until Thursday with our storm system. As we time it out for you, I want you to notice the timing. As we head deeper into the afternoon, we'll have a better chance for some of this steady rain to break up a little bit. There may be some dry pockets, but this is going to be a very rainy afternoon. Even parts of this evening, if you're in the South Valley, you will see that rain linger a bit longer than everybody else, especially toward Merced and Madera, where we could see the rain at least come to an end by sunset. But the heavier pockets of rain toward the foothills may even cause some flooding concerns, and we're tracking chances for even some thunderstorms on Thursday. I know it looks pretty quiet here on Futurecast, but because the sun is coming out and the cold air is still coming in, those two ingredients are in fact fuel for those storm chances. So we'll be looking closely. It's a day to be weather aware, as we like to say. We even have travel troubles for the High Sierra, winter storm warnings all in effect because we could see between even 4 to 18 inches of snow. You pair that with gusty winds, and the roadways are going to be a bit tougher to navigate. So across the valley floor, here is what rain totals look like. We could see up to 1/2 inch for Mendota, even some higher totals in thunderstorms. Fresno looks like we're coming in at 0.8 inches. That's almost a whole inch of rainfall, and even up to 2 inches potentially in parts of the foothills. But we'll almost forget all of this happened by the weekend. Check out how nice we're expected to be. Saturday, Sunday, we're back to feeling and looking like spring. If you have plans to be outside, we're going to get this system out of the way just in time for your weekend plans from Friday into Sunday.